Why does a bike make a tick-tick sound when pushed? That's the ratchet mechanism in the rear hub. When you're not pedaling, tiny springs inside it snap, making that ticking sound. Why does soap foam? Because it reduces water tension and traps air, forming bubbles that help lift dirt off surfaces. Why does it smell before rain? That scent is called petrichor. It's from plant oils and soil bacteria released when rain hits dry ground. Why do we hiccup? Hiccups happen when your diaphragm spasms suddenly, usually from eating too fast, stress, or sudden temperature changes. Why do stonefish hide? It's their survival tactic. They camouflage as rocks to avoid predators and ambush prey. How does a light bulb glow? Electricity heats the tungsten filament inside until it glows. The vacuum inside prevents it from burning up. Why do fans feel cool without AC? Because the moving air helps evaporate sweat from your skin, and that evaporation cools you down. Why is seawater salty but river water isn't? Rainwater dissolves minerals and carries them to the ocean. Rivers move too fast to collect that much salt. Why does ice float on water? Ice molecules form a crystal structure that's less dense than liquid water. That's why it floats. Why is the sky blue? Because blue light from the sun scatters more in the atmosphere than other colors. Why is sweat salty? Sweat carries out salt from your body through your pores to help regulate temperature. Why do cats sleep in tight spots? It makes them feel safe and warm, an instinct from the wild for protection. Why does electricity shock us? Because our bodies conduct electricity. When current flows through us, it can cause muscle contractions. Why do leaves fall off trees? Trees release a hormone that detaches leaves to save energy during cold or dry seasons. Why is red for stop and green for go? Red is highly visible and signals danger. Green is calming and signals it's safe to proceed. Why does hair turn gray? The pigment cells stop working as we age. Without melanin, hair turns gray or white. Why does fried food turn crispy? Moisture evaporates quickly under high heat, drying out the surface and making it crunchy. Why do mosquitoes prefer some people? They're drawn to body odor, carbon dioxide, and body heat. Some people give off more than others. Why do flames have different colors? Different substances and temperatures affect flame color. For example, copper turns fire green. Why is a fridge cold even though it uses electricity? The compressor moves refrigerant gas that absorbs heat from inside and releases it outside. Why do fingers wrinkle in water? It's a nervous system response to improve grip on wet surfaces, kind of like nature's suction cups. How can airplanes fly even though they're heavy? Their wings are shaped to create lift, lower pressure above the wing, and higher pressure below pushes them up.